Hi and welcome to the Groovy Sleep Train. Today I will be talking in a Welsh accent. I've done an accent video previously to this. It was a Cockney accent video which I will leave linked below if you would like to see that. So my Welsh accent is a little bit further on than my Cockney accent was in that video. I've still only been working on it for about, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then on Tuesday I had my audition where I had to use the Welsh accent. So really, I found out Friday night, so really it was only about 3.5 days, three and a bit days, so not really very long. With my Cockney accent, when I did that video, it was literally the first day I was trying to learn it, literally the very first day, and people really slated me on that video and saying it was shit. And I mean, yes, it was quite shit, it was, but it was literally my first day of learning it, so you have to really cut me some slack there. And I'm sure people are going to comment on this video saying your Welsh accent is shit, and to be honest, yes, it probably is, but all you can really do is try, right? So I went to Wales on Tuesday this week. My audition was in Cardiff. Sometimes I forget to roll the R's, but it was in Cardiff, and the train there from Manchester is about 3 hours, which is quite long, I think. Well, no, it was really more like 4 hours, and it's just so interesting because 4 hours train is quite long for me thinking about it, but in reality, if I actually went to another country in those 4 hours, so it's actually not that long if you think about it. And I was going to South Wales, not North Wales. If I was going North Wales, I could get a train for, an hour, maybe less, maybe a little more. But South Wales, it's 4 hours away. So I got on the train very early at the 7:30 train, so I was awake at 5 a.m. and it was one of those days, when your alarm goes off and you think, shit, I've barely slept actually, because I was very, very nervous about going to this audition. I was very anxious throughout the whole weekend in the run up to it. And yeah, so I'd barely slept that night, and luckily I slept for about 2 hours on the train, and I got up and I did some work on my, audition pieces. And my friend is from Wales, from Barry, and he is such a legend. He had sent me a recording of him saying all my lines in a Welsh accent, so I could just have a listen to them and kind of double check what I was saying and how I was saying it, because up until that point I'd only really watched things on YouTube and watched films to try and learn the Welsh accent. I have some cousins that live in Wales actually, but it's North Wales, so the accent's quite different, because it's a different place in a way, north and south. So I was very nervous, and I got there, and my audition routine, because I've talked about it in another video where I did my audition tips. If you've not seen that video, I'll leave it linked below and you can watch it if you want. But one of audition things I like to do is I get there about an hour early, and I go and I find the place where it is, find the building, find the office, whatever, and then I go to the closest coffee shop around the corner, and get a peppermint tea, because I find peppermint tea is the perfect drink to have before an audition, because it's not got caffeine in it, so it's not gonna make my nerves worse, and it's very refreshing, but it's relaxing at the same time. It's like, because it's a herbal tea, so it's not going to wake you up, but it definitely has that minty zing in it, so it is energizing in a lot of ways. So I always have a peppermint tea. So I found the place, I went, I had my tea, I did my audition meditation, and then I went to a quiet street around the corner and did a vocal warm-up, which was about 10 minutes on YouTube, and then I went back to the building. It was about 10 to, my audition was at 12, and at this point it was about 11:51, so I thought, oh great, nice and early, I get a chance to relax and tune my guitar up, because I had to sing in this audition too and play guitar. But I rang the intercom, the doorbell at this building, and the guy on the line was like, no, I think you have the wrong place, I'm sorry. And I just thought, shit, am I in the wrong place? And then I went next door and knocked on the building next door, and this lovely guy opened the door, and he was like, no, you're in the wrong place, I'm sorry, but people come here a lot thinking they're here for an audition, so I'll help you find where you need to go. And he invited me in, and he googled it and found where it was, and I found it on my phone on maps as well, and I was like, okay. And luckily it was just down the road, but it could have been in another part of the city, and I wouldn't have been able to get there in time. And then I found it. Not only was it a long way away, but I had to prepare, I had to learn a Welsh accent, and learn the scene, do the scene, learn my lines, and I had to prepare a song that they had sent me, and then I had to prepare a song to play on guitar and sing of my own choosing, and it was a lot to kind of prepare in a very short amount of time, and it was very challenging in many ways. And after it finished, I had like an hour or so before my return train, so I thought, I should go out in Cardiff and try and enjoy myself and see the city a little bit, because before this point I'd only been to Cardiff once when I was 18 for an audition for the Royal Welsh School of Drama, and I went with my dad when I was 18, and we didn't really do much. We didn't have time. We literally just got there, checked into a B&B, went to sleep, woke up, did the audition, and then left and came back to Manchester. But so I kind of left the train station and I walked about a bit, and I found this really beautiful shopping arcade they call it, and it's like, it feels like it's indoors. It's got glass ceilings, but it's not outside, but it kind of feels like it's outside, but it's not. You are indoors, and it looks like a nice little sort of cobbled street, and I think you know what I mean. And there were loads of really lovely independent shops in there, and coffee shops, and there was even like this really hipster barber's that was also a tattoo parlor. And it was like, one side was the barbers, and on one side it was the tattoo parlor, and they had like motorbikes in the windows, and I really liked that. I thought it was cool, and it felt very familiar, because Manchester kind of is a little bit like that as well in a lot of ways, so it was quite familiar. I've got my peppermint tea now as well in my Cirque du Soleil mug. It's gigantic. and where was I? Oh yes, so I was in this arcade, and I found this shop called Ganesha. And it had loads of different Indian things in there, and I bought these 2 rings. And I'd been looking for some silver sort of stone or crystal rings for quite some time now, and every time I'd sort of look at some to buy in places, I don't know, for some reason it just never felt right to buy them before this point, even though I had been looking for some rings, because never in my life have I actually spent more than about £6 or £7 on a ring, like, you know, just buying them in Topshop or wherever on the high street. But I've never like bought rings that were like proper jewelry or, you know, real silver or anything. So I decided that I would treat myself, and it would be like a reward in a sense. I thought I'd film this video before I sort of lost the Welsh accent, because, you know, it's like anything, if you don't practice, it starts to sort of get further away from you. And I thought I'll still do it while it's on the tip of my tongue. Today is what? It's Thursday. My audition was on Tuesday, and to be honest, on Tuesday my accent was a lot better than it is right now. I've already lost bits of it, and it's only been 2 flipping days, you know. And that's the thing with accents for me. I can pick them up really quite quickly, but I can lose them just as fast. So it's really important to keep practicing things, and there's a lot of accents that I can definitely do, but it's just been a long time, and it would take, you know, a little bit of time to bring it back to the tip of my tongue, you know. But it's okay, and when you learn a new accent, it's very interesting, because you notice things about it that you'd never noticed before, even if you know loads of people who have that accent. Until you start doing it yourself, you don't notice things about it until you start doing it, if that makes sense. So I know a lot of people always say that the Welsh accent is similar to an Indian accent, and that when people try and be Welsh, they can often get mixed up with and sound more Indian than Welsh. And I was a little bit worried about that, because I do an Indian accent very well. It's probably one of the best accents I can do in my repertoire, but I was worried I would just always be going to doing it as if it was Indian, but actually I haven't, which is very good, and I'm very happy about that. And another thing I noticed about this South Welsh accent is that there's a lot of similarities with the Northern Irish accent, which I fucking love. Like, that is one of my favourite accents in the world, the Northern Irish. It's fucking beautiful. I love it. And whenever I meet someone who's from Northern Ireland, I'm like, oh. And it's like the first thing that I'll notice about them. And actually, when I went to Miami at Christmas time to see my sister, when I was on the plane coming back, the guy sat next to me on the plane was from Derry in Northern Ireland, and I've never slept better on a plane, because I just love it. I love that accent so much. I find it so relaxing and comforting in so many ways. And there's actually a really great ASMR Northern Irish YouTuber. She's called, I think her name is ASMR Beans on YouTube. Let me check. I think it's ASMR Beans. And she's just started a second channel as well, like a beauty sort of lifestyle channel called The Look Nook. And I really like her. She's great. I don't know I don't know what her name is actually, what her real name is, but oh, she's brilliant. I really suggest you check her out. I'll leave her link below actually, because I really like her. Where are you? So yeah, the Look Nook. Oh yeah, ASMR Beans. That's it. ASMR Beans. Her last video is a role play, a spa treatment. But yeah, she's got a great voice, great accent. So I was saying it's not dissimilar. It has a lot of similarities. Try and do an example. That word example, like that is very similar. In Welsh you'd say example, and in Northern Irish you just stretch it out further. So Welsh example, Irish example, and it's like that A sound in the middle is just like stretched further. And stuff like daddy, I say in Welsh is daddy. If I say it in Northern Irish it says daddy. I'm probably not doing a very good example here, but yeah, I always think of the little girl in the fall, you know, the BBC drama with Jamie Dornan and Gillian Anderson, the little girl playing his daughter. She has this amazing accent, and there's this bit where she's so cute, and she says, "Daddy, where are my things?" And it's just so cute. And I guess in Welsh it'd be very similar. Daddy, where are my things? It's just, I guess the rhythm of it's slightly different, but I think a lot of the sounds are the same. Daddy, where are my things? Daddy, where are my things? It's quite similar, I think. But yes, that's probably enough rambling from me in a Welsh accent. If you thought this was shit, that's fine, and I'm sorry it was shit, but you know, you gotta try these things, don't you? If you like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and any videos or accents you think I should do in the future. I'll always be open to trying new things, and I have been meaning to do a Cockney accent update, which I will get round to doing at some point, because I need to look at the accent again anyway and just double check I can do it. But yes, so let me know what you think, and I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you next time.